Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving deep, really deep, into session 51 of the Law of One. This is from the third book.
That's right. And our plan really is to go through it almost question by question.
Exactly. We want to pull out the core insights for you, our listeners, unpack the beauty of it,
Yeah.
keep it positive and engaging.
Session 51 is packed, isn't it? We've got uh, supervision of the harvest, how fourth density beings travel.
Oh, yeah, the travel stuff is fascinating. And the seven bodies, the chakras.
And what those Egyptian drawings really mean, according to Ra. Plus, the energy centers, how they rotate, those crystalline structures.
And that indigo body roll after death. Lots to cover.
It should be a really insightful exploration.
Definitely. Let's approach it with that spirit of namaste. I am you, you are me. So let's jump right in. Question 1, the harvest supervision.
Right. The questioner asks, is there supervision? Why? How does it work if the violet ray already shows someone's ready?
Yeah, is it automatic or does someone need to oversee it?
Well, Ra makes it clear. Harvesters are always there during harvest, and the supervision, it's needed to ensure the bounty is placed as it should be without the bruise or the blemish. That's Ra's wording.
Without bruise or blemish. That sounds careful, precise.
Very. It's not about judging readiness. The violet ray handles that. It's automatic in that sense. But the process of harvesting needs guidance.
Okay. So who's doing the supervising? Ra mentions different levels, right?
Yes, 3 levels. First, there's what Ra calls planetary or angelic.
Okay. What does that mean?
It's basically your own total being, your higher self, plus any inner plane entities, guides, you could say, who are connected to you. It's like your personal support team.
Ah, so part of it is internal guidance from your own greater self.
Exactly. Then the second level is the confederation.
The confederation of planets in service to the one infinite creator.
That's them. They stand, poetically, at the edge of the steps of light love. To catch anyone who might be, stumbling or confused during the transition, they gently set them right so they don't fall away just because of some temporary disorientation.
Wow, that's incredibly compassionate. Like a safety net.
It really shows their dedication to service, doesn't it? And then the third level.
Guardians.
Right. They're from the octave above ours. They act as light bringers.
Light bringers. What's their specific job?
Their role is super precise. They emit very specific light love frequencies to accurately read each person's vibration. Meticulous work.
So they ensure everything aligns perfectly vibrationally.
That seems to be the idea. So harvestability itself, based on the violet ray, that's set. It doesn't change during harvest, but these helpers make sure the actual process goes smoothly, maximizing everyone's chance to fully step into their potential.
It balances the individual's achievement with this incredible cosmic support system. Amazing.
It really is.
Okay, let's move on to the next big topic.
Mm.
Fourth density travel. This one really bends the mind.
Uh-huh. Especially when you think about our physics, like mass approaching infinity at light speed.
Exactly. So the question was, how do 4D craft manage that?
Right.
And maybe more fundamentally, why do they even need craft?
Right. And Ra prefaces this by saying, look, the stuff is kind of transient and you guys can't fully grasp it yet.
A little disclaimer first.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So Ra outlines 3 main ways entities travel. First, there are third density beings, like us, potentially, or others who've figured some things out,
Right.
like maybe beings from Sirius, Ra mentions. They learn to use craft, but based on a different understanding of hydrogen. Their trips still take a long time, relatively speaking. They even use hypothermia sometimes.
So more advanced than us, but still dealing with long travel times and, well, technology.
Pretty much. Then you have the second type, fourth, fifth, and sixth density beings within our own galaxy.
And how do they travel?
This is where it gets wild. They access energy systems differently. They use the speed of light more like a slim shot.
A slingshot.
Yeah, leading to what seems like instantaneous travel to us. They've got a different handle on physics and energy.
Instantaneous. Okay, that's a huge leap.
It is. And then there's the third type. This is mainly fourth, fifth, sixth density folks from other galaxies, though some are within ours too.
And what's their method?
These are beings with incredibly disciplined personalities. They see the universe as like one single being.
Wow.
So they travel mainly by thought alone.
Just thinking their way there?
Essentially. They can materialize a craft if they need one, maybe to enclose their light body or as a focus, but it's not strictly necessary for the travel itself.
Mind blown. Okay, so where does the Orion group sit in? The questioner asked about them specifically.
Good question. Ra says Orion is actually a mix. They use methods from both the second and third types we just talked about.
So some use advanced craft tech, Others use more consciousness-based travel.
Seems like it. It's not monolithic, adds some complexity to understanding them.
Right, avoids easy labels.
Yep.
And what about Ra's own craft in Egypt? Those bell-shaped things. If they can travel by thought, why use a craft then?
Ra explains that the craft was essentially a thought form itself. It acted as a focus point for their concentration, a tool to help motivate and direct the energy for the specific work they were doing in Egypt.
Ah, so less a vehicle for transport and more a tool for focusing intention and energy.
Exactly, like using a lens to focus light, perhaps.
Interesting distinction. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Question 3 moves into our own makeup. The 7 bodies and energy centers, the chakras.
Right. The questioner starts with a statement, basically summarizing. 7 bodies, 7 colors, universal energy flows through the chakras, and blockages come from our mental configuration.
And Ra says,
Ross says, yeah, that's substantially correct, but then adds a key clarification.
which is?
That blaming only mental configuration for blockages is too simple. Ra points out blockages can happen between spirit and mind, or between the body and the mind. It's more interconnected. It's not just your thoughts. It can be deeper disconnects.
I see. So it's a more holistic picture of potential energetic knots, not just mental stuff.
Precisely. And then Ra adds another layer of detail. Each of the 7 main energy centers, they have 7 subcolors each.
Whoa. Okay, so each chakra is like a whole spectrum itself.
Kind of. And those spiritual, mental, or mental bodily blocks can affect each center and potentially its subcolors in really specific ways. It just highlights how complex balancing ourselves really is.
It really does. Much more intricate than just opening your chakras.
Definitely.
Okay, next up, those Egyptian drawings. The ones on the back of Secrets of the Great Pyramid showing birds over horizontal figures. What's the deal with those, and do they relate to Ra?
Ra's take is interesting. They see those specific drawings as a distortion of their actual teachings about death.
A distortion. How so?
The problem, according to Ra, is the drawings focus on very specific, almost overly detailed aspects of what happens to the mind-body-spirit complex after physical death.
Like getting caught up in the minutia of the afterlife.
Sort of. Ra connects this kind of detailed focus to Gnosticism, specifically the idea that you need specific knowledge, rituals, symbols, even physical movements perfectly executed to achieve the right outcome after death.
Like needing a secret map or password for the afterlife.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Which contrasts with Ra's actual teaching on death.
And what is Ra's teaching on it?
Much simpler, really. They say aid is available when someone transitions, but the main thing needed is just releasing the person from the body with love and, ideally, praising the process. The elaborate rituals aren't the primary aid.
Focus on release and love, not complicated procedures.
Got it.
Exactly. All right, back to the energy centers. Question 5 asks about their rotational speed. Is it true that less blockage means faster rotation and more energy coming in?
Ra says, well, partly correct. For the first 3 centers, red, orange, yellow, yes. Unblocking them does lead to faster rotation, more energy flow.
Okay, so that intuition is right for the lower chakras.
But then for the higher centers, green, blue, indigo, violet, it shifts. As they develop, their main expression isn't just speed.
What is it then?
They start forming crystal structures.
Crystal structures.
Yeah.
Instead of just spinning faster.
Right. This crystalline formation signifies a more balanced, refined activation. It's about the quality and structure of the energy, not just the quantity or speed.
And these structures do something specific.
Yes, Ross says this crystalline state helps transmute space-time energy into time-space energy. It's about regularizing and balancing the energies in a more complex way, integrating higher dimensional inputs.
Okay, that's deep. Transmuting energy types through structure.
Yeah.
Which leads right into the next question. What are these crystal structures? What do they look like?
Ra gives some really cool descriptions here. They stress each person's is unique, like snowflakes, but there are general forms for each center in a developed being.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Red, the root, is like a spoked wheel. Simple, strong base.
Okay.
Orange, sacral, is often a flower with 3 petals. Think creativity, duality.
3 petals. Interesting.
Yellow, solar plexus, is rounded, many-faceted, like a star. Radiance, intellect.
Like a star. Nice.
Green, the heart center, is lotus-shaped. The number of points or petals shows its strength, its capacity for love.
The classic lotus. Makes sense.
Blue, the throat, can have up to 100 facets. Imagine that. Great flashing brilliance, communication, truth.
100 facets. Wow.
Indigo, the third eye, often starts as a basic triangle or 3-petaled shape. But as the lower energies get more balanced, it develops more facets too. It reflects that integration.
So its complexity grows with overall balance.
Seems so. And finally, violet, the crown. Ross says this one is the least variable. It's sometimes called the thousand-petaled lotus, representing the sum total of the whole mind-body-spirit complex. Full integration.
Incredible imagery. Gives you a real sense of the energetic architecture.
Doesn't it?
Now, a very direct, personal question came next. If the indigo center, the third eye, were totally activated and unblocked, would the person feel nothing there? Like no sensation?
And Ra's response is quite firm on this one.
Yeah.
They say answering that directly would infringe upon the law of confusion.
Ah, one of those you need to figure it out yourself moments.
Exactly. Some things are meant for personal discovery, not just being told the answer. It protects the seeker's own process.
Right. Preserves the value of the journey. Okay, final big question in this session. The indigo body after death. The questioner remembers Ra calling it the primary activated body, then the form maker, and wants to know why.
This is super important for understanding that immediate transition phase. Ra explains the indigo body acts as an analog for intelligent energy. It's like the logos, the creative principle, but in microcosm within us.
An analog for intelligent energy. Where does that energy come from?
Ultimately from intelligent infinity, the creator, the source of everything. And Ray points out this intelligent energy, or intelligent infinity, has two natures, sort of. There's the unpotentiated state, just pure infinite potential, all that is.
Undifferentiated potential.
Right. And then there's the potentiated state, which is will, expressed through free will. It's intelligent infinity acting, choosing, creating through us, and everything else.
So how does the indigo body use this as the form maker?
Okay, so the indigo body, being that analog for intelligent energy, taps into this potentiated will, the will we've co-created with the infinite creator, through our lives and its wisdom. Immediately after death, its job is to use that wisdom and will to choose the right place and type of experience for us next.
So it shapes our next reality based on who we've become and what we've willed.
That's the essence of it. It's the architect of our immediate post-physical experience, drawing on our own accumulated beingness to guide the next step. Ray calls the individual soul a co-creator or sub-logos in this context.
Wow, that puts a lot of meaning into our choices and development here. We're literally building the blueprint for what comes next via that indigo body function.
It's a powerful concept of continuity and self-determination, even through death.
Absolutely. And that pretty much wraps up the core questions of session 51.
Yeah, after that, Ra just checks on the instrument, Carla, who says she's okay.
And then Ra gives their usual closing.
I leave you now, my brothers, in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. Go forth, then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite creator, Adonai.
A beautiful ending. So for all of you listening, maybe something to chew on, think about that incredibly detailed support system during the harvest. Your higher self, the confederation, the guardians. How might that relate to the support, maybe seen or unseen, that's present in your own life, your own transformations right now?
That's a great point. And also, maybe reflect on consciousness itself as the vehicle. We talked about fourth density travel.
Yeah, travel by thought.
Exactly. What does that imply about consciousness not just crossing space, but navigating dimensions of experience itself? Lots to think about there.
Definitely food for thought. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into session 51.
Always a pleasure to explore this material.